Okay, so I'm gonna try to practice more question about naming chemical compounds. And first thing that we need to know, okay, what's the longest chain? The longest chain is gonna be this one. This is gonna be our longest chain, or the parent. Okay. And now how many carbons I have? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I see 8 carbon. And okay, I have two substituent. One substituent is this. Okay. And the second substituent is that one. Okay, what's the name for them? The top one, the name for it will be propyl. And this is going to be ethyl. Okay, so propyl and ethyl. Okay, let's label them. Okay, we can start from the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 carbons. So what's the name of the parent? The parent, because it's made of 8 carbon, it will be octane. Okay, octane. Now, how do you want to name this compound? Okay, one way is to name it. Okay, start labeling from the left side and you get 4 and 5. Okay, or you can start labeling from the right side and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and that's going to give you 4 and 5. Okay, 4 and 5. Okay, which one do you want to choose? Okay, the one that start labeling from the left or from the right side. Again, the numbers that we are getting for the substituent, they are the same. Okay, now how can I choose, the correct direction? You will look to your substituent and order them alphabetically. And the first substituent start in like the top one is a propyl and start with P, while the ethyl start with E. Okay, ethyl start with E. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, the one that has like the one that alphabetical is supposed to come first, I'm gonna give it smaller label. Okay, so ethyl should have a smaller label. In this case, ethyl is sitting on the 5th carbon. Okay, if I start labeling ethyl, it will be on the 5th carbon. Well, this one, it will be on the 4th carbon. So for ethyl. Okay, I want ethyl to have the smallest possible number. Okay, so I'm going to start the labeling from the right side. And the correct name for it, it will be this. Okay, on the 4th carbon, we have ethyl. Okay, dash. On the 5th carbon, we have propyl. And where are they? They are sitting on 8 carbons. So you say octane. Octane. And I got 4 and 5. How about the top one? The top one, if I want to name it, okay, it will give me this. On the 5th carbon, I have ethyl. Have ethyl on the 5th carbon. Next, on the 4th carbon, I have propyl. So propyl. And then I say all this setup is sitting on 8 carbon. So it will be octane. Okay, octane. Okay, between these two, which one is going to be correct? The one that gives ethyl the smallest possible, technically locator or number. So the bottom one, it will be the correct one. Okay, and here, okay, just to be same both cases, I'm writing in a capital letter. Okay, so I have 5 ethyl versus 4 ethyl. What's the correct answer? The bottom one, it will be the correct answer. So the point here is, if you reach a case that whether you start labeling it from the left or the right side, number that you get, they are the same. Okay, the locators are the same, 45, 45. I can separate them or differentiate them, okay? Now, you go after the substituent, and you order substituent alphabetically. Ethyl should comes first, okay? And then you will have the propyl, another one, okay? I'm going to start with highlighting the main chain. So let's start with there, okay, and see what we get. I'm going to get, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So you might say, okay, you might say this. Okay. I have methyl here. Okay, that one also methyl. And this is going to be the ethyl. Forgive me. That's going to be the ethyl. So I have two substituents, ethyl and methyl, and that's going to be the ethyl. So you might say, okay, I see 2 and 4, okay, 2 and 4, okay, or I see 3 and 5, okay, 3 and 5. And some of you might have already seen, no, that's not correct because I see 2 methyls there. Why do you keep saying 2 and 4? And why don't you say 2, 2, 4, okay? Okay, be careful, guys. On the second carbon, we have 2 methyls. Okay, so you have to say, on the second carbon, I see a methyl. Again, on the second carbon, I see another methyl. And on the fourth carbon, I see a methyl, I see an ethyl. Okay, on the fourth carbon, I see an ethyl. Okay, how about this? Here I see, okay, on the third carbon, I see an ethyl. And on the fifth one, I see 2 methyls. Okay, so let's see. One, if we start labeling it from the left side, we get 2, 2, 4. And if we start labeling it from the right side, we get 3, 5, 5. Okay, now which one is going to be the correct answer? Clearly, the one that gives you smaller substituent, smaller locator or smaller number. So 2, 2, 4 is going to be the correct answer. But there's a problem here, and the problem I'm going to, highlight it to you very soon. Okay, so we adopted this. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the parent will be hexane. No question about this. Next, I have 2 methyls and 1 ethyl. Okay, so this is going to be ethyl, and this one is methyl. Forgive me. Okay, I have 2 methyls. Okay, so should I say on 2 and 2, because I have 2 methyl, I should say di for 2 methyls, and then say methyl, then go on the fourth one, you have ethyl, and the parent is made of 6 carbon, so it will be hexane. Okay, be with me, please. Okay, that's one way. Or you might say, how about this? Okay, why don't you, why don't you bring the ethyl first? Okay, somebody might say, hey, you know what? Like methyl start with M and ethyl start with E, so E should come first. And then in that case, you get this. You get 4 ethyl. Then on the second, you see 2 di, and you say methyl. then you say hexane. Let's go with YL, blue color, and then I say hexane. Okay, so which one is going to be the correct answer? Okay, let me move this one down, and I have that one. Okay, let's pause for a second, go back. Okay, so we have two structures. We started labeling from the left side. We got 2, 2, 4. Okay, we didn't care. We didn't care what was the name of the the substituent. We said we have 2, 2, 4, and we start labeling from the right side. We got 3, 5, 5, and 3, 5, 5. Why 5, 5? Because on the fifth carbon here, on the fifth carbon, I have 1 and 2 methyls, and that's the reason I'm saying 5, 5. And the same story for 2, 2. Why 2, 2? Because on the second carbon, I have a methyl and methyl there. Okay, so I got 2, 2, 4 versus 3, 5, 5. Which one is going to be the correct answer? This one. That means the labeling should start from left side. Next, okay, I'm going to say, let's say 2, 2, D comes before E, so D should come first, and then I say 2 and 2, dimethyl, 4, ethyl, hexane. That's one. Or some might say, hey, you know what? Like, I'm gonna just simply look to the substituent. I have ethyl versus methyl. Ethyl comes first. Why? Because of E. Okay, so I'm gonna say 4 ethyl, and then I say 2, 2 dimethyl. And which one is the correct answer? A or B? Give it a thought. Okay, pause the video. Okay. Great job. So the correct answer will be B. Okay. Why B? Whenever you're trying to alphabetize the compounds, alphabetize them, do not use di, tri, or tetra. Okay. Also, secondary or third. Do not use them to alphabetize any substituent. Those prefixes are there to show you how many you have. So we're not going to use any of them, okay, to alphabetize. And in this case, we're not gonna use D, and I'm gonna say the correct answer will be here based on E and M for methyl. So E for ethyl and M for methyl. E will come first. So ethyl will be the first substituent you need to mention, and ethyl is sitting on the fourth carbon, and then I have 2 and 2 dimethyl hexane. So the correct answer B is going to be B. Okay, and again, do not use di, tetra, and tri, or tetra, secondary or tertiary to order substituent. Thank you very much, and as always, I will see you very soon.